What is going on, you guys? PXCam here, back in with a brand new video. Sorry about my singing there. We are here at Willow Springs for an amazing, crazy race here that we had, as we are starting in 4th place in our Audi TT. It's gonna be starting on the mediums, switch off to the hards, and then only do a one stop. But we're gonna see what we can do here, as this was one of the craziest races I've ever had, and I honestly don't think I've ever had another race like this. So we're just gonna jump right into it. If you guys really enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video, as it really helps out the channel when you guys do so. And that is enough promoting myself. Let's jump straight into this crazy race. Now, as we jump into the grid here, we are waiting for the red lights to go, shifting our traction control to 1. We get the green light here, as we are trying to get a good start here around the Brazilian, but we actually get hit by the 3rd place driver, and we actually make contact with the Brazilian. He gets a 1-second penalty, as GT Sport Logic penalties showing right there. As you can see, the Ecuadorian goes very wide, goes straight into the dirt, and he actually goes a little bit wide again as he goes into the right-hander, and he loses the position, as we are able to retake 4th place now and follow right behind the American here. So crazy things already happening, as we just only got to about 3 or 4 corners here, and we already had some crazy drama already going into the right-hander. Staying right behind the American, just following him here, just being very patient. This is a 15-lap race, so we don't want to make any drastic moves here, as we just have to kind of just ride along here. Hopefully the Brazilian is going to be able to get a big enough penalty that we should be able to get around him. But we're going to see right here now as we head into the penalty zone for the first time. Staying right behind the American on the slipstream. The Brazilian is on the left-hand side, as he's got really bad top-end speed compared to us because of the penalty. And we're able to make the easy overtake on the Brazilian now, as we're trying to work our way on the outside of the American. Going on to the final corner, we brake very late as we try to make a cutback on the American. Get a great exit here, but we clip the dirt, get a little bit loose, and that's actually going to hurt us a little bit, but not too much, as we're staying on the slipstream of the American. Go on to the right of the American. Try to see if we can make it move on to the outside, but unfortunately he's going to be able to hold his position, as he had the preferred line going into turn number 1. So up already into the podium, which is great, but we have to get around this American so we can try to catch up to the Brazilian now, as we're heading to Rabbits here once again for the 2nd time. Again, staying right behind the American. We're not going to force the issue too much here, as it's barely the 2nd lap. But if we do see a position to overtake, if we find an open gap, then we're going to definitely take it now, as we're heading to the right-hander. Staying right behind him, he kind of goes a little bit wide coming off of this corner, but not enough for us to try to make an overtake here, as we're heading to the left-hander. Brake very early to try to get a great exit, and we actually are able to do so here as we go into the slipstream of the American. The slipstream right here is very powerful, so that's one thing you have to be aware of when you're going to the final corners. If you use the slipstream of the car ahead, you have to be very careful when going to this right-handers. You can easily carry too much speed, go straight into the left part of the track, and go straight into the shadow round. As you can see, we are trying to just measure out our pace here as we're heading to the right-hander. Get a great exit here as we come out of the final corner, and that actually is going to propel us to the front, as we're now going to 2nd place here as we cross the line. Yes, we're in 2nd place, as the American follows right behind us. We're able to overtake him here going into the 1st corner and set our sights now. So jumping into the replay here, you can see that he just jumps right behind me, lets me go past, allows me to take the overtake him on the straight before going into the corner, and that was actually probably the ideal move, as we both did not lose any time there compared to 1st place, as we're actually gaining closer and closer to him here, as we're now on the 3rd lap. Heading to Rabbits here, or coming off of Rabbits here, we're staying right behind the Brazilians. We're actually going to be able to get close enough to get into the slipstream, hopefully by the end of the lap, as we brake. Heading to the left hand, the Brazilian actually misses his braking point, goes very wide, and you can see how much time we actually gain on him, as we are now almost on his back bumper. So that was very unexpected here, as we're now all over the back bumper of the Brazilian, heading to the left-hander. Going to the left-hander, you can see that we are trying to get a better exit than him, and we're actually able to here, and we're going to be on the slipstream here going into the final couple of corners, so that should benefit us here, as we are now going into the final couple of corners. Going to the final couple of corners, we're following him onto the inside on the slipstream, and you can see it's pulling us a little bit to the left, so we have to let go of the throttle just ever so slightly. clip a little bit of the dirt on the inside, but the Brazilian goes very, very deep going into the right-hander, and you can see he gets wobbly, and we are able to get onto the right-hand side. Now drag racing with the Brazilian, who's going to be able to get first place here as we go down to the line. We're able to do so here. He falls right in line right behind us, just like the American did in the previous lap, and we're able to hold off a first place here now as we get promoted into the first. So going into the replay again, just almost the exact same thing, just drag racing to the first corner. The Brazilian just decides to back out, which again was really clever on his part, because all it did was just save us time, especially without racing. And now we are just setting sail here as we're just following our lines, coming into the pits here for the first time on lap number 7. So jumping into the pits, we're going to switch out from the mediums to another set of mediums, or actually to the hard set of hards, and we're just going to follow these guys here now as we're going to do a 1-stop here. I thought we were going to do a 2-stop, but it's actually a 1-stop here. It just shows you guys enough how much I prepare for these videos. But heading to the rabbits here, we are in 3rd place as we are right behind 2 Americans. Heading to the right-hander, we're staying right behind the Volkswagen here as we're getting closer and closer to him. He's trying to defend the left-hand side as we head into the left-hander. We shift all the way to the left-hand side, try to outbrake the Volkswagen, but he actually outbrakes himself, and he goes very, very wide as we cut right in front of him, and we're able to get the overtake here once again and go into 2nd place, set our sights again on the leader, and see if we can get around him before he comes into the pits. So jumping into the replay, Volkswagen on the outside just misses his braking point, and we're able to just sneak our way into the inside as we are on the outside heading to the right-hander, and we just force our way into the inside, close the door on the Volkswagen, and that is P2 for us now as we jump a little further into lap number 8. Going to the final corner, the first place driver actually comes into the pits, and he started on the hard, so that's actually the guy that we were fighting against. So if he is smart with his strategy, he should be coming out on the mediums, which luckily, or not luckily for us, but unfortunately, yeah, he did come out on the medium. So we're gonna be having to fight with him here very, very soon, as he's gonna have much faster tires than us. So as we head into the right-hander, let's see what's gonna happen here as we actually go into the battle that's happening in 2nd place. So you can see right here the 3rd place driver is already catching up to us as they come out of the final corner, and him and 2nd place are starting to fight with each other, going side by side. And there we are in 1st place, being caught up rather quickly. As you can see, he set his personal best and probably the best lap of the race with a 1:17.2, and you can see how much time they're gaining on me as him and 2nd place are still fighting with each other. And this is very, very interesting as things are going to get very dicey towards the end of this race, as we do have about 4 to 5 laps left in this race here. So still following along with this American. He's still trying to get around the 2nd place driver here as we head into the left-hander. We go a little bit wide going to the right-hander, and you can see now they were able to just close the gap tremendously as they're all over my back bumper now as we head into the left-hander. Shift right back up to me. We're getting overtaken on the inside by 2nd place, and you can see that he is able to make an easy overtake on the inside, but that actually invites 3rd place, and he makes the overtake on us too. So we get double stack basically as both of them overtake us going into the final corner, and now we have to do everything we can to try to stay with them as they do have the medium tires. So we should be able to hopefully stay with them as the harsh, I hope, will prevail all the way till the end of the race now as we head into turn number 1. So going to turn number 1, the American makes a move onto the inside of the Peruvian, and you can see that now he is just fighting side by side with him as they head into the right-hander. Going into the right-hander, we are actually catching up to them because they keep fighting side by side. So this is a beautiful sight that we like to see, because if they keep fighting side by side, all that's going to do is wear out their tires and allow us to stay with them, and hopefully we can get around them because of a mistake. And actually, there goes our mistake right there, as the Peruvian has to serve his 1-second penalty here going into the next penalty zone. So the Peruvian, not sure why he got the 1-second penalty. I think he made a little bit of contact with the American, and that actually just gave him the 1-second penalty. So we're gonna be able to be the beneficiary of that, as he's gonna have to serve his penalty. We go onto the outside, and we are now promoted into 2nd place as we again are trying to make a same move that we did to this American early in the race, as we're going onto the outside, getting a really good run onto the final corners. We break right before the 100-meter board. We try to get a cutback here as we try to get a great exit, and fortunately we do, but we might be a little too far back to try to make a move as we're staying into the slipstream here. He's covering the inside here as he's doing a great job defending onto the inside. We shift onto the outside, try to break as late as we can, and unfortunately we were unable to do so, as again he had the preferred line going to turn number 1. But going on to the left hand side now, we're following him as we're going to take a wide entrance and try to get a good exit here, as again staying on the slipstream. Is that going to help us out enough? And it's looking like no, as we go a little bit wide coming out of the final corner, or not the final corner, but that's the corner right there, and we stay right behind the American as he clips a little bit of dirt, sprays it all over our face, kind of distracts us a little bit as we make a desperate lunge into the inside, back out, think twice about it, as I did not want to make contact with him and accidentally spin him out or push him out of the way. So drastic changes here going on for first place, as again we are on the hards, he is on the mediums, so who knows what's going to happen here, as he's got the preferred tires, but his tires are going to wear out a lot sooner than us. So we're just staying right behind him here going into the final corner, and you can see that right now we are unable to really close the gap going into the final corner, as we do run a little bit wide going into the final corner, but he also runs wide going off the corner. He goes straight into the dirt, and that's actually going to help us out as we go down to the straight going into the slipstream. Look at how much we're making time up on him, as we are going to take a peek onto the outside, make a little bit of contact with him that actually hurts us just ever so slightly, and we have to relinquish the spot once again, as we are going to have maybe one more time to try to make a move onto anywhere on this American, as we actually have the Peruvian right behind us all over our back bumper, and he might be able to get us here as we are setting our sights again on first place. The Peruvian goes onto the left hand side of us. He's able to make the overtake onto the left hander, and we have to relinquish the spot there. So now it's going to be a three-way battle for first place as we jump into the replay. Let's see exactly how the Peruvian got around us. As you can see, he's on the outside heading into the rabbits here, and we just stayed on the outside here, left us no room basically, because we had to keep it onto the inside so we didn't end up pinching him out. So a very, very clean, awesome, aggressive move, and he was able to just get around us, make the overtake, and now we're demoted back into third place. So this is going to be very, very interesting as things are starting to heat up here, as we get a little bit loose coming out of that right hander, and unfortunately we just are unable to stay with the pace with these two cars. But the Peruvian is going to give the American a good run for its money, as they are both fighting here going into the final corner. Let's see exactly what's going to happen, because easily one of these guys can make a mistake and both of them could go spinning off or into the dirt, and we can easily capitalize on that mistake right there, as we now are heading into the final corner once again for the time right before the last lap. Going out of the final corner, we're heading down the straight once again as we come down for the final lap. Let's see what we can do here, as we only have one lap to try to do anything and make a desperate attempt, as the Peruvian goes onto the outside of the American. Both of them are going side by side as they head into turn number 1, and the Peruvian tries to make a cutback onto the left hand side going into the second and third corner. Going into rabbits here, American holding off the inside now as we're heading into the third corner, and the Peruvians just staying right behind him as they kick a little bit dirt up again once again. Going into the left hander now. Are they going side by side? Yes, they are, as the Peruvian actually just goes straight into the dirt. Not sure where he's going, slams straight into the wall, and that actually is second place for us. So I think he got disconnected, because usually when that happens, that means that they got disconnected. So very, very unfortunate turn of events for him, but good for us, as we are actually able to get up into second place. And look at how much time we are now starting to gain on the American in first place, staying on the slipstream right here. Again, we have to be very, very careful when going into the final corner, especially on the slipstream. It's just pulling us up more and more, getting a really good top end speed before the corner. You can see how much we're closing the gap here as we're coming to the final two corners, and we're going to break right after the 150 meter board, try to get a wide entrance to get a great exit. And you can see the American goes very, very wide, goes straight into the dirt all the way to the left hand side, and that's going to benefit us now as we're going down the straight. It's going to be side by side photo finish to the race, so we can get a little bit of contact, and we're able to win this race here as we go into the replay and see exactly what happened with the American. Just overshoots the final part of the corner, tries to get back onto the track, makes contact with us, pinches us out, and he finishes in second place, as we were able to get away with an incredible first place. Amazing, dramatic, crazy ending to a really good race. And honestly, again, I just haven't had any other race compared to this one, as this was probably one of the craziest race and ending that I've ever raced against. And just for as crazy as it was very, very clean. So I just have to applaud everybody that was racing with me, and again, just probably will never have a race like that again on GT Sport, as that was just one of the most craziest and funnest races I've had in a very, very long time. So I hope you guys found this video very entertaining. If you guys did, please subscribe and leave a like on the video, as it really helps out the channel when you guys do so, and hope to see you guys on the next one. Peace out.